is only war.
What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. We finally did it. We got to #1 in Chaos Space Marine spot in the world for the end of 9th edition. So 9th edition is now over. No more competitions. ACO was the last one. And we happened to place top 8 at ACO, which pushed our points up in the Chaos Space Marine bracket to put us up #1 Chaos Space Marine play in the world. So appreciate it. Thanks for clicking on the video. If you guys are new, we're going to go over kind of what we learned about ACO, our last tidbits of 9th edition. I had a super fun time with the guys that we met a lot of new chaps over at Atlantic City, and they didn't have a bad game. Every single game was super fun. A lot of people just didn't really care anymore. They were talking a lot about 10th edition, and once we got out to like even the final rounds, the final round 7, round 8 was one of my best games that I had against the 2 best opponents that I had. So it was super fun. We'll go over what I learned and what I'm kind of looking forward to in 10th edition. We are playing Grey Knights, Chaos Space Marine, Death Guard, Sisters, and Custodians on the channel. If you guys like 40k and are interested in getting better at the game, we are a very competitive channel, but very friendly channel at the same time. Head over to Discord and you know exactly what I'm talking about. On my Patreons, you guys are fucking awesome. We're doing a Patreon giveaway very soon. Once we get up to $500 a month, we're going to give away a lot of shit. I have some boarding patrol boxes for the armies that we play. I have some old school Grey Knight metal guys that I picked up at ACO. We have some special characters, some 3D prints, everything that we're just going to be giving away to you guys, dice, stickers, everything. It's just going to be a drinking stream / hangout, questions, getting ready for 10th edition. So it's going to be coming up soon. We need about $70 more on Patreon, which we're getting really quick because we fucking escalated when I've been posting all this Grey Knight shit on YouTube. So hopefully, guys, you guys are enjoying it and liking the content that is coming up. If you do, support the channel, join the Dirtbag Nation. So first, if you guys see behind me, it is Best Coast Pairings, the ITC. A lot of people, you can go on this website, type your name in and see where you rank along everybody else that plays 40k, literally in the entire world. You can base it off where you're from, the regions, like in the United States, you can go northeast, south, west, all that stuff, and you'll see where you rank. Also, if you click on your name, you can see which army, where you rank at for your army. Now, the army is your best 4 rankings. I did a whole video on this. Best 4 rankings of the best 4 events that you went to, and the overall ranking is the best 6 events that you went to. So my best 6 events got me up to about 1,141 points, which pushed us up to 16th in the world, which I've never been that high. I didn't really care about the ITC the last 2 years because I didn't even know about it. Now that I knew about it, it's pretty cool to just kind of go in and check to see where you are. If you get a lot of events and a lot of RTTs and you place high, you're going to get a lot of points. If you go to a lot of events and place low, you're going to kind of average out in the middle. But if you go to big events like GTs, huge LVO, ACO, all these big events all over the country, you're going to get a ton of points. So just kind of show you, we are number 16th in the world right now. That's all, in all the armies. And then you look at #1 for Chaos Space Marine. We took over Colin. That was the goal. So I went into ACO to try and be #1 for Chaos Space Marines. And Colin was fucking beating me by a couple points every single time. He's a really good player. He plays Black Legions just like I do. His lists are really cool. But I don't think went to ACO because I didn't see him there. But when you click on your name, you can then see all the rankings. So we placed 6th place out of all of ACO people that went. We got 223 points for placing in 6th place. And then we placed 1st for a Winter Ruin Grand Tournament. And then we placed 1st for a Forge Hammer Grand Tournament. And then we placed 1st for a bunch of other RTTs. And then ranks points. And then it takes your top 6 points, and that's the points, but your top 4 for Chaos Space Marine, that'll be there. So congrats to David Adelman. You won ACO, so congratulations. I didn't get to play you. I did play Tyler, who is your opponent. But let's get into the pictures. I took not a ton of pictures. Most of my tournament videos, if you guys go back and look at them, I mean, they're all 9th edition now anyway, so we're going to make a lot more in 10th edition. But if you go back and look at them, I take pictures of every single game, and then I give tidbits on how I moved, what I shot at, where I could have got better at, what the opponent could have done to get better at me, what my strategy was, stuff like that. So I can't record a tournament game because everybody is so focused, but I take pictures throughout the entire game, and then I talk about the pictures that we take and kind of help people get better at an RTT setting. So this is kind of just fucking around and taking some pictures. This was our view from Atlantic City. We stayed at the Harris Hotel, which has this huge bubble dome pool, which lights up. We got in on Thursday, but it lights up. It was super crazy at night. Friday, a lot more people got in. Saturday was just bumping, super loud. But the first game, my opponent was Clint Frost. He played Black Templar. It was the first time he played Black Legion. I kind of showed him, what to look out for, but it's weird because everything I did throughout the entire weekend is gone. Like all the shit that was made Black Legion super strong is kind of not there anymore. Abby is still really strong with a 10-man Terminator brick, but him buffing up units, full rerolls to hit and wound, Illusionary's gone, +1 strength or toughness is gone. What else? Bringing a guy back and get a 4-inch charge is gone. So you're not really going to see the same Chaos Space Marine list at all. It's going to be completely different, and you're going to be bringing a lot of units that you've never seen before. Me, I'm going to be bringing a Cursed Cultist. So at the end of the video, I'll go over kind of what we're gearing towards for 10th edition. But this was the setup. The crown actually died once the entire weekend from Tyler. Thanks, Tyler. Everything else, everybody ignored it. It just got me a CP every single turn. But Clint was a super fun dude. We won that first game 98 to 49, and he kind of didn't commit fast enough to get up the board. So we kind of just all kept, our banners up and kind of just kept staring at each other. I kept shooting them with the bolters from the bikes. And then the second game was against our boy Dean, we talked a lot throughout the weekend. He runs Hobby Goblins. Super fun guys. If you guys probably know them, you've seen them at a ton of GTs before, but they're really good at art, competitiveness, and customer service. So they're really good at talking to people and having people just have a friendly, good environment. So check them out. I have a picture of a Stormbolter that I took with them later in the thing, but his list was insane. It's just all beast heavy. This was the first game I actually killed a monster with Overwatch. He charges Old One Eye into me. First time I seen Old One Eye charge into me. I full rerolls to hit and wound with Abaddon, so the Terminator shot 4 melted into him, hit 2 of them on the rerolls, 6s, and then it converted into explosions, which was insane. So then I had 4 melta shots with wounding on 3s, full rerolls, and then the damage was just insane. So we killed Old One Eye on the charge. The biggest beast was this guy. This guy came in, he was OBSEC 5, came in my deployment zone on my objective, and he put a bomb down because of the bomb mission. So he comes up, gets behind enemy lines, puts a bomb down, basically got 12 points for him in one freaking phase, which was nuts. I blew this guy up turn 1 with all my bikes and plasma, like just was not expecting that. Killed him with the Venom Crawler, last cannon, and all the bikes. So we killed his big bug turn 1, which was super cool. But yeah, Dean was a really fun opponent, super nice guy. I hope to see him again at the other events. But we won 93 to 58 in that one. We got Bring It Down, Engage, and Minions. This one was the third mission. I played Sean Reynolds. Sean actually met a long time ago. It's funny because he looked so familiar, and then I finally said, "Hey, do you know like Tabletop Titans or anything like that, or Titan?" I forget what the store was called, but it was a store that I used to play a long time ago, and he actually used to co-own that store. I was like, "Oh, that's cool. That's where I know you from. I knew you looked so fucking familiar." He played Iron Hands. First time I played Iron Hands, which was insane. I just shot everything off the table. My bikes died in one turn. The Nerf gun guys just murder everything. I teleported. My turn was up. Shot, charged, and killed some stuff, and then consolidated and everything else. And then he fell back, and I rolled so many 5-ups on my invuln saves, which only killed, I believe, 3 Terminators that turn. He was expecting just to kill all of them, which I was too. I luckily rolled a lot of 5-ups, and I had some Feel No Pains going, and he killed about 3 Terminators. And then after that, it was just kind of over because they were already in your face. Abaddon was right next to him, so basically just buff up and keep mopping up, the rest of the game. So we finished that game again with 93. This is the most I've scored on day 1 in a GT ever. So I don't usually score over 90s just because Chaos has a really hard time to getting secondaries, especially in 9th edition, but he finished up with 46, we got a 93, and we finished off day 1 3-0. So it was super great going into 3-0. We celebrated, went into PF Chang's. The whole thing, it took us like 25 minutes to literally get over there to find parking, which then we spent $25 to find parking. And then it took like another 20-30 minutes to wait for the food. We didn't start eating until fucking 11 o'clock at night, which was bullshit. I brought my own beers, got some Madoff with me. And then after that, to go back to the hotel was another half an hour to 45 minutes. So thank you for the guy who told us to go over there, because it was not worth it. The food was great, but the fucking time spent over there was not worth it. So if you go into GTs, try and stay in your casino or in walking distance. That's my suggestion. But we did meet up with Frank, who's a Grandmaster. He hung out with us the entire weekend. So if you guys are Grandmasters or competitive dirtbags, always come up to me and, you know, see if what we're doing. You guys can kind of hang out. But Frank was a good dude. He was the first Grandmaster I met in person. And we just hung out the whole weekend. So this game was the third game against Death Guard. I played another hobby goblin, so I got to play 2 of their guys over the weekend. This was Robert Hawkins. He basically ran Death Guard, and I knew Death Guard because I ran almost his exact list before. It's the Ferryman build, where you can't charge within 12 inches, or you don't count as charging within 12 inches. So having fight first and all the Terminators, it was just super easy to kind of like tank his charges. So my Terminators were able to survive a charge from basically most of his army. And we had fight first, but then he put fight last on us. I got into his fight last guy on my turn and happened not to kill him because I didn't have enough into him. And I rolled absolute garbage. I think I rolled 6 attacks, full rerolls to hit and wound with my power fists. And I know it's -1 damage, but I think I hit twice with 6 attacks with full rerolls, and I wounded twice with the wound. So basically I did 2 wounds to him. He still had 2 left. It was super bad. So then next turn he fought last and then charged me with everything, and then I think I lived with 5 guys, 5 Terminators, which then I just fell back, shot, made a Terminator and charged and killed the rest of his guys. So I think we called it on turn 3. Which we wound up with 98 points. I took Long War, which was super good against Death Guard, Dominions, and Assassinate. He took the spread, no prisoners to spoil, which is always great for Death Guard. So 58 to 98, super fun opponent, super nice guy. Like all hobby goblins are super, super nice. All right, who do we play next? Matt Laura, motherfucker. This guy's part of the Vanguard Tactics crew. Probably one of the friendliest guys I've ever played, honestly. His list was so precise. This is actually on stream. If you guys watch the War Games live, they do the events all over the country, and we actually got to play on stream. So I chose the stream game because he promised that we were able to get the full game in, because last time I was on stream, we were 45 minutes into lunch, which was not fun. But he promised, like, hey, you're going to finish, trust me. And the next, you can't start the next round until you guys finish anyway. So I was like, all right, fuck it, let's go. So we got onto the game. This guy does amazing work. I took bad secondaries into him. Not too bad. Like, Despoil Dominion is fine. Assassinate is a trap. And Long War, he just didn't give me any objectives. This mission, the board setup, is the sister terrain, which no windows. So for Eldar, it is perfect. All the other terrain in ACO has open windows besides the big terrain. And there's the dog. His list was really good. So I gave up my possessed too early, like turn 1. I gave up my bikes turn 1. I had turn 1, so I basically moved up my guys. My possessed, trying to hopefully countercharge, and then my bikes moved up, shot some dudes on the side, and then that was really it. They died. Possessed died. Terminators committed too early. So yeah, the whole thing was bad. I did not play well in that game. That was my first loss of the weekend. I think if I played again, I definitely think I could get them. Got to be a little bit more strategic with the secondaries and a little bit more laid back and have him come to me. Yeah, so I lost that game. Congrats to Matt. Definitely like to play that guy again. So this is our boy Don. So Don, we met at ACO the first time I played him, first time I met him. But he was a Blood Angels guy, probably the best game I had all weekend. Super fun guy. He had Blood Angels versus us with Black Legion, and we played the long deployment where we both had objective marker in our deployment zone, one in the center, and then you do all-spec scan. So you can try to do all-spec scan. He took Shock, Oath, and Retrieve. I took Kill Shit, Dominions, and Assassinate. So if I would have taken Long War instead of Kill Shit, we would have just been trading back and forth the entire game. But instead, I took Kill Shit because I don't know why. I think that mission and Blood Angel specifically, Long War would have been fucking perfect. I would have had 12 points by turn 3, which would have been insane. So I only had 30 points up until turn 3. Which is fucking terrible. Like I was going to turn 4 with 30 points, and we wound up coming completely back because I made a 6 on my advance. So on the one turn where the Termies are kind of in the forest, just chilling there, he's got 2 units on the other side of the building with all of his characters. I took Assassinate, so I'm like, all right, I have to get to him. So I put my guys into Red Corsairs so they get advance and charge. I put my guys in Red Corsairs. I advance up. I roll 6. And I fucking go ham. I'm like, yes, let's go. So I roll 6. I advance 9 inches because of the forest, and gets all my guys out of the forest. And then I made a guy, which made the threat even further. And then I made a charge into 2 different units. One was the OPSEC unit. One was the Sanguinary Guard unit. And needed a banner, which made everybody OPSEC. So we were able to kill both units, consolidate on the other side of the wall. All he had left was Dante, the banner, the priest, whirlwind, and I think that was it on the other side of the wall. And then on the right side of the table, he had 1 jump back infantry troop unit, 1 unit of sanguinary guard, and the guy that made everything fight last. And we shot everything else with the bikes. The bikes did fucking beautifully this game. So the bikes did everything that they possibly could. They killed a lot of shit. And then my deployment zone, I deployed literally everything on my board edge because he had a Death Company. So he went first, threw his Death Company up, killed my Legionnaires on the next to the point, and then I took over that point again, and then we kind of just kept trading back and forth. That one turn where I was able to kill 2 units in my charge pushed me up the trading statue. So basically, I was able to get more out of my trade than he was with his. So at that point, it basically was my Terminators, and everything was just in front of you. And it's like, all right, deal with them. If you can deal with them, great, you win. If you can't, then I win. So Dante had to use this thing where if you target him, or you have to target him in combat. So we killed Dante instead of him doing the fight on death. So we killed Dante. That stopped me from fighting the banner. Or the priest, I think it was the banner. So it stopped me from fighting the banner. And then on my turn, I spent 2 CP, fall back, blew the banner up with the Melta, and charged the Whirlwind. Because I didn't want to fail my 4-inch charge onto the priest. So I charged the Whirlwind, killed the Whirlwind, consolidated on the priest. And at that point, I think we called it because he had nothing left on the right side. I kept shooting his Sanguinary Guard with the bikes. So he had the guy who had fight last, which I probably could have killed on the last turn with the bikes. And then he had the Sanguinary Priest where if he thought that he could run up on top of the building and kind of wait a turn, I was like, yeah, but I can also just, move up, make a guy on the floor below you, and then just charge up 3 inches with Abaddon giving me +1 in charge. So at that point we called it, and it was such a close, good fucking game. Turn 4 was really the kicker. Like turn 4 was the game changer with a 6. So we finished up with 93-79, and he actually just placed #1 Blood Angel player in the United States. So he's a really good guy. A lot of people knew him. He had the highest win rate going into this game. So either one of us, he instantly would have made it to top 8. I had a win rate of about 64-65% before beating him. So since I beat him, and pushed my win rate up a little bit more, which it was the top wins and losses, and then was based off win rate. So the better your opponents were, the higher win percentage you have, and he had literally the highest win percentage going into this mission. So Don, super fun guy, great game. Can't wait to see you in the next GT. And this is our team. So we had Brian, who we thought was going to be in top 8. He was actually ranked number 8. I think I was 6th with the total rankings. And somebody at the top dropped out. Like he went undefeated and then dropped. and then it pushed everybody else out, which then Brian fell out at a top 8, which we all felt like shit, like fuck, like we were all excited. 2 cuddle buddies getting into top 8, like that was awesome. But no, Brian had to sit out the top 8. He went to go play 10th edition. He actually borrowed my Grey Knights to go test out Grey Knights. Keeble went with us. He missed the first game because of work, but Keeble is going to all the GTs. He just started this edition, and he's another Chaos Space Marine player. You see him probably in all my battle reports. So it was Keeble, me, and Brian. All the other cuddle buddies couldn't make it this year, and we just had a super fun time. We all have our carts as well, so if you guys want to go buy a cart, go use my my link in the description below. It's totally worth it. And then what else we got? Some different stuff that this is Frank. He's actually in a local guy. He goes to all the GTs, but he's probably one of the best painter I know. This is his board setup. He has the crown, which actually glows like different colors, like a portal, and then this thing down here actually spins on magnets. So it's literally just spinning the entire time. Like this is insane. I don't know actually who won the painting competition, but this board setup was nuts. The next one was this one with the Death Guard. He had the lights and stuff. This guy is just, I think I've seen him at Nova before. But this guy has such customization. Paint job is amazing. Board is ginormous. Matt Aaron. This was somebody's board. I think they took all the models off, but this is a really cool board setup. Then we have guard everywhere. So really cool customization, guard paint job. Such a cool board. All right, and this is the last game. So we made it to top 8, and we played Tyler. So Tyler is a good guard player. He actually made it to the final 2. So I'm glad I lost to him because, you know, lost to him and then he still makes it to the top. But we basically had to win the roll-off. So he won the roll-off, and there wasn't... If I were to play this game again, I would definitely set up more defensively or reserve more units. I actually reserved my cultist because I knew that he was just going to kill my cultist turn 1. So I reserved my cultist, and then I forgot to bring my cultist on. That's how this game was going. So this game was... We rolled a 6. We both rolled a 6 to go first. And we roll again. I roll a 3. He rolls a 6. I'm like, fuck. All right, I think that's it. I had my crown. He killed my crown. He killed a Venom Crawler with this big-ass tank that you don't get any invuln saves for. Killed my Venom Crawler. Killed my crown. Killed 2 possessed. And killed all my bikes turn 1. So at that point, I'm down 3, 4, 5... Probably around 600 points I'm down turn 1 before I even move. So I knew it was kind of like, I knew he was going to have the game at that point, but I still wanted to play the full game. It was super fun, super good opponent. I was fucking with him the entire time. And we gated turn 1 our Terminators. So we put them all the way up here, even with his 12-inch bubble with... you can't deep strike within 12. We still have a 7-inch charge. If you do the math, you shank a Terminator... you then make a Terminator 2 inches away, the Terminator base, and then the +1 to charge for Abaddon. It's basically a 7-inch charge because we're within 8, and then we have a 7-inch charge. So 7-inch charge with that. So we made the charge and killed the guys over here, consolidated, possessed, moved up, killed his guys. I got out of a tank over here, which we both don't know why he did that, but got out, killed the guys up, consolidated on the objective, stole the objective. So again, if I went first, that's basically what would have happened, but I would have had all the bikes to blow up a tank. So I would have gated turn 1, shot the tank at 12 inches away, blew up the tank, charged the guard, consolidated into the guard, wrap them so you can't get out, and then have the 2 CP strat to pile in somewhere else to try and get that. So that's what I would have done turn 1, but instead I had turn 2, so I had to do the same strategy, just with a lot less models. Then throughout the game, he basically... killed everything. I still had my Terminators, my characters, and Abaddon was just fucking running out and doing work. He forgot, this is the play of the game. Jentzsch Sorcerer tanked a, whatever the cannon is called, where it's a railgun. I ignore the first failed save. So basically I ignore his 13 damage gun to the face. So he forgot that he had that and shot him. I was like, oh, I ignored the first failed save. He's like, what? Like, he was just so bent. It was super funny because everybody was watching and was just fucking dying. Like, everybody was laughing because they saw what just happened. That was probably the play of the game. So then he shot everything else into it and killed it, which was still funny because I took Warp Ritual. Warp Ritual was going to be great because I was going to stand inside this building right here and just cast Warp Ritual the entire game and not get shot. But again, I didn't go first. So Tyler took it away. This is basically like towards the end of the game. There's not a lot left over here. He's starting to surround me. My cultist would have walked on my table edge, shot and flamered these guys that deep struck and finished off my bikes with all the mortal wounds. I would have shot, flamered those guys, and then kind of charged those guys to take those guys off the table and block this command squad from getting anywhere near my table edge. So I think the cultists actually would have stopped a lot of points from happening if I remember to put them on the table. All the tanks over here is just basically dying from the Terminators. Abaddon killed the command squad and then finished off the tank. And we finished off with 75 points is 91. So we took 0 on primary that one turn. It's hold 2, hold more. 30 for primary. Dominions, we got 13, which is pretty good. Warp Ritual, we got 0, which would have got us 7 if I kept doing it the last turn with last 2 turns with the Master Possession. And then Long War, we got 13 for Long War. So my score 75, his score 15, 15, 12, and then 39 for primary. So who would have got 91? We did keep him to a 0. We gave him 1-0, so I was happy. 91 to 75. And this is basically the end of the board. Abaddon was over here somewhere on this objective, and he didn't really have a lot left. I didn't have a lot left. So, and these are the Hobby Goblins. If you guys have seen their logo before, Dean's the guy that we played. That's the bolter that they custom make. It's fucking sick. Like, it's a real, like, true life bolter. He's got cartridges which actually have moving parts in it. The trigger moves. This bolt action moves. And that was Don. Don had finished 20th, I believe. But this was the top 8 going into it. Sasha, another local player. Jesse, another local player. Yeah, so awesome guys. I actually have pictures of the top 8. All right, so here's me repping the pink Cuddle Buddy kitten shirt on game day. That's Tyler. He's the guard player. That's Jesse, another guard player in our area. This is the guy that won the thing, so he's the Eldar player. So Jesse actually played the guy who won it. Then we have Sasha and the other guy in the back over there. So top 8, baby. And then the other 2 were behind me playing on stream. So this guy and the other Eldar guy, Vanguard Tactics, that played on stream. But this is the terrain, like really good terrain, like really nice sharp pieces from War Games Live. But there's no windows anywhere. So if you can get in there, you're basically not going to be shot at, which is great. But yeah, super fun time. Can't complain. I would totally go. If you guys are interested in GTs, start RTTs, but if you want to go to a GT, you're going to meet a lot of fun people. You're going to play a lot of good people too. Like, just be able to get 6 to 9 games in 3 days is worth the money. You spend $20 at the local RTT to get 3 games in. It's totally worth the money. But you spend about $60 to $100 to play and then split room with other people. Go see if other people in your area want to go. Head out with us if you really want to. But I definitely think the competitive play in 40K is not toxic. It's not degrading. Like, there are some assholes in this game, but if you kind of know to play your game, you're going to be able to win and have some fun every single time. But if you do want to join Discord, head over. Those guys are fucking awesome. If you guys want to support the channel, if you're interested in the competitive scene, want to get better at competitive 40K, we do competitive dirtbags over on Patreon. We are doing a Patreon stream once we get up to 500. We got boarding patrol boxes, combat patrol boxes. We're just giving away as much shit as I possibly can. So appreciate you guys. Thanks for clicking the video. A lot more to come in 10th edition. I'm going to be focusing on Grey Knights coming forward with a bunch of other test games going on with Chaos Space Marines, Death Guard, Sisters, some Custodies, because they're super minimal body count on the board. But yeah, I'm going to start off with Grey Knights, kind of get some videos up for that. There's going to be a ton of battle reports coming up, so look out for those. Thanks for everybody watching the video and the guys that I did meet at ACO. You guys are awesome, and we'll see you in another video soon.